Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or whatever time you're watching this video. Welcome to another episode of this EAFC 26 modding tutorial series. My name is Edson Ochoa. Now, I know a lot of people have been asking me to go into tutorials about FIFA editor in order to import custom kits, in order to import, all the crests, all the UI textures and everything. So let's go ahead and talk about it because, as I've mentioned in the comments previously, there has been changes from the last time I made a tutorial back in FIFA 22 about FIFA editor and creating kits. Now, if you guys don't remember, back in the day, back in FIFA 22, it was a lot harder to mod FIFA 22 and before, anything that had to do with the Frostbite engine, because anything that wasn't legacy, you couldn't create and duplicate assets or anything like that. You had to make do with the assets that were already there. So if you want to create a new club, you basically had to replace clubs that were already in the game. Thankfully, for these EAFC titles, 24, 25, and 26, that's not necessary anymore. We actually can, what we call, add new kit textures by duplicating assets, and that allows us to add as many teams as we want without actually having to replace any teams that are in the game. So let's take a look at the process to import kits into FC26. We are going to assume right now that you already have the kit textures created. If you haven't done so and you're curious, I know I did have some tutorials before in FIFA 22 as well, on how to create textures for kits. That hasn't changed for the most part. If anything, the only thing that's changed in some aspects has been the actual 3D model and its location within the texture. But other than that, like the process in creating a texture has been the same, has not changed at all. So you can go ahead and look back into those tutorials, but we're going to assume that you already have the kit textures ready to import for your custom club. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be importing the kit textures for the home, away, and the goalkeeper kits for El Paso Locomotive. Now, first things first, we have to remember what the ID of El Paso Locomotive is in the game, in the squad file that we created and is currently ready to be loaded by EAFC 26. In order to do so, we're gonna open the squad file and we're just gonna back in FC editor. And the only thing we're gonna do is just basically we're gonna open it in order to find what the team ID is for El Paso Locomotive, because that is going to be necessary in order to link these textures to the team. Right, so rest of world, and we're gonna go El Paso Locomotive. So the ID we're gonna be using is 132750. The first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna open the FIFA editor tool. We're gonna create a new project, which it does by default. So what you're gonna do is you're going to go, so you look at the directory of, these are all the folders and files that are in the game. And so you're gonna look for the folder that says content, and then character, and then you're in here, you're going to find the folder that says kit. Once you find the folder that says kit, you're going to right click and then you're going to click add kit. Okay. So basically what we're doing is we're duplicating assets that are already in the game and copying them and putting them new IDs that are going to be linked to this new team. By default, it's going to choose old team kit ID 1, which is Arsenal. And then old kit variation, 0 is home, 1 is away, and 2 is goalkeeper, right? And then 3 is third kit. And so what you're gonna do is where it says new team ID, you're gonna write 132750, which is the ID that of El Paso Locomotive, right? Or whatever team ID you have for the team that you've created. And then for new kit variation, you're gonna put 0 because we're gonna be starting with the home team or the home kit, okay? You're gonna press OK. And then what that's gonna do is you're gonna go down here to where it says kit 132500, and here you will find the folder for 132750. You're gonna open it and you're going to see that you do have a folder for the home kit, which is ID 00. Okay, and you're gonna do the same thing, for the. You're actually going to 132750. old kit variation. So basically we're copying the asset for El Paso Locomotive, the home kit, and we're going to copy it to 132750 to El Paso Locomotive. For the away kit, you press OK, and you're going to do it one more time. 132750 0 132750, and you're going to put 2 for the goalkeeper kit. So you press OK, you're going to go back here, and you will see you do have away, goalie, and home. As I said, what this does technically is it copies and pastes a particular asset folder and links it to this new ID. Because if you open, let's say we'll open jersey color 132750, you see that the texture that is currently inside the file is the Arsenal kit, right? So because it basically copied Arsenal's home folder and copied it, and we just copied for home, away, and goalkeeper for El Paso Locomotive. So you have all of these kits. So technically, you're done. Well, not really, because you haven't entered the new kits. But technically, if you were to save this and launch the game with the mods in the game, and you select El Paso Locomotive in the game, when you're playing, they will come out with Arsenal's kits, right? And everything, like the hotspots, the coefs, all these texture files, and they're going to be selected. What we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and import. So right now we're doing the home kit. We're going to press import. We are going to go to wherever you have your texture file saved, and we can import the jersey texture for the home kit. We're going to do the same with the coef. So we select this here, resize the image, and then normal. I should have it. Yeah, here it is. Resize the image. So right there, you can see that's the normal mapping for the kit. And then the TAA, I don't have one yet. Now you see here, you think it's blank, right? But no, this is because this is a texture file that has an alpha layer to it. If you were to remove the alpha layer, this is what a TAA file looks like. In order to actually be able to edit this particular texture, the TAA file, you have to export it, or you have to export it as a DDS file, because that will be the type of file that will actually retain the alpha layer. And then once you go into Photoshop and open the DDS file, which by the way, you do need a plugin by NVIDIA in order for you to be able to open DDS files. You're able to edit the RGB layers, paste it back with the alpha layer on top, save it as a DDS in BC7 format, and then you're able to re-import it back into the game, and for it to work, right? But just kind of giving you a heads up on the TAA file, I don't have one right now at this moment, so we're just going to leave it by default what came for Arsenal, right? And then so you're going to go to the shorts, right? You're going to bring in the coef, which I don't have. So we bring in the color. We just test home shorts. Do not resize the image. I like it when you do not resize the image for the shorts, otherwise it's going to look a little bit greenier. Do I have? I don't think I have. No, I do not have normals for shorts and socks for El Paso Locomotive. But if you do, this is where you would be importing these. Like I said, these are files that I created back in 2024. Right, so we have the short color file. We're gonna put the sock color file, which is right here. This one you can resize the image. That one's fine. Doesn't matter that much. Okay, so you technically, based on what we have, we're done with the home kit. You can go to the away kit, and you're gonna do the same thing. We do need to talk about the jersey brand. So the brand, so like the Adidas, in this case it would be Hummel, for the shorts and the jersey, and of course the crest for the shorts and the jersey. Because by default in EA has them as separate textures than the kit. So you can see right here, this is the Adidas logo for the jersey, for the shorts, the crest that goes in the jersey. the crest that goes in the shorts, right? But if you noticed, our jerseys already have, the kit textures already have those crests as part of the actual jersey. So there are two ways that you can actually make sure that these separate textures do not appear in the game. One of them, the old way, is to import a blank PNG file into these textures, right? And so basically it would show up as blank and nothing would come out on the texture. The other way that is used is to use these hotspots, right? These hotspots you open these hotspots, and so you're gonna find the one that says, so like for example, this one says jersey teams. So these are the coordinates for the crest, the jersey crest, and the boundaries per se of where the X, Y, like of the box that's supposed to contain the texture for the crest in this case. So in order for them to not appear at all in your game, you're gonna change these all to 0. And you're gonna do this for jersey team, jersey brand. You're gonna set these all to 0. Shorts team, so 0, 7, 11. Change these all to 0. So 0, 7, 11, and 13, you're gonna change all of the bounds to 0. And that will, when you save it and you load this into the game, you will notice that you will not see these separate textures for brand and for the crest in the shorts and in the jersey. And then once you save this project file, now you're gonna get ready to start, trying to test it in the game and see how it looks like. Okay, but first what you need to do is you're gonna, remember in the first episode I said you're gonna need Live Editor in order to open FIFA with mods using the FIFA editor tool. And so you can find the link in the description to the latest version, that is the latest free version of Live Editor that will work for the latest version of the game, the latest update, right? So, and then what you're going to do before you press launch game with mods, you're gonna go to File, you're gonna go to Settings, go to Advanced, and then you're gonna press Override Live Editor Path. And on here, you're going to find the folder or the executable file for the latest version of Live Editor. In this case, as of today, 127, the latest Live Editor version that works with this update for FIFA or for EAFC 26 would be version 26.2.5. So you're gonna double click on the launcher and you're gonna press OK. The Live Editor path has been set to the selected file. Save settings to keep the change. You press save and there you go. And so now you're ready to open the game with mods, and then hopefully we can see how it looks like in game. Now, one thing to keep in mind before we continue on with this tutorial and testing it is that whenever you run a modded version of the game, EA, from I think it was like a month after the release of EAFC 26, they patched it so that way you would lose access to the online. So you lose access to online modes, you lose access to the EA servers, basically, right? You are able to get it back if you run it vanilla without any mods. So just to keep in mind, and from what I heard based on from everybody at FIFA Live Editor and from the FIFA Editor tool, is that they do not believe that this will be patched in the future. So just keep in mind, if you're playing in a modded game, you won't be able to access anything online, not even to upload or update your squads. Okay, so we'll just press OK. Once you open the game, you will see, because you started with a Live Editor, you're gonna see this overlay pop up and you won't be able to move. So in order to remove this overlay, you press F9 and now you are able to move around in the game. So let's go and see how it looks so far. We're gonna be missing a lot of textures, right? So just keep that in mind. It might crash, but hopefully we'll be able to play a quick game and where we'll be able to see how these textures look like in the game. So here we go. So this one is El Paso locomotive, right? But we haven't edited the language strings. We haven't edited the legacy textures, or we haven't not edited, but we haven't imported the legacy textures either. So that's why this the name has the variable name and a blank crest as well. And now you can see that the textures did import correctly into the game, like from the actual kits, and the hotspots are not visible anymore for the brand and for the crest. You can see the texture in full force. Now there are a lot more textures that need to be, or there are a lot more hotspots that need to be edited, right? So you have to edit the short number. We're gonna have to edit as well the location for the back of number and the last name, or the name in the back of the shirt. Just needs a little bit of adjustment, but that is pretty much it. But you can see right here, you can see as well, let me turn it over to where there is the sunny side. So you see the 3 stripes right here. That is because of the TAA file that we have not changed in FIFA editor, right? So that's why you can see these ghosted 3 stripes in the kit, because of that TAA texture. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to edit, remember we are adding a custom number font into the game as well. So we have to import that into FIFA editor. And so for that, you're gonna find where are you at? The kit number folder. And you're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna add kit numbers. You're gonna do base kit numbers ID. And remember, the ID of the new numbers that we're adding is 299. Press OK. You're gonna open this 299 folder. You're gonna open each texture individually, and then you are going to import all these numbers one by one from 0 to 9. So we import the 0, open 1, and so on and so forth. Okay, so now once that you have imported all of these, we can test again and see how it looks like in the game. Okay, so now if we look at the players, you could see that now the correct textures for the new USL numbers will come out in the kits. You can see here, and you can see that they've been colored. They've been recolored, just like I mentioned in the last episode, right? So this is the away kit, which is supposed to be blue. And it's also for the shorts as well. So you can see right there, you can see that the shorts also have the new number. The home kit also has the new number font. And we look into the goalkeeper, we will see that both in the front and in the back, they've got the new numbers imported and actually visible in the game. Now, there is one more quick thing we're gonna have to edit before we continue on, or before we finish the video for today. As I mentioned a little while ago, we still need to edit the hotspot locations for the name and the number for all 3 kits, home, away, and goalkeeper, so that could be aligned a little bit better in the actual jersey, or in the actual uniform. Now, in order to do so, we're gonna have to go back into FIFA editor. We're gonna go to one of the folders, so we'll go with the home, and we're going to go find the hotspot data file. We're gonna right click and we're gonna export it, and we are going to export it to, you can save it wherever you want, right? And so you save that hotspot file. We're gonna be using the FC editor once again, because this also comes with a hotspot editor, where we can actually edit and export these hotspot files to import back into FIFA editor. Now, so in order to do so, we're gonna open hotspot editor, right? We're gonna open the image, and on here, we're gonna open the shirt texture. We can start with the shirt texture first, right? for the home kit. So you open the texture, all right? So you can see right here, the texture has been loaded. And then you're gonna go to load custom hotspot. And we're going to find the hotspot file that we exported. And so now you can see the location of all of the numbers, names as they are programmed to be on the uniform, right? And that includes left sleeves and right sleeves, right? What we're gonna do, because we do need to edit these back name and number locations, is we're gonna go to click the number, and this will highlight this number box, and we want to move the top and the bottom bounds up and down, and we want to make sure that it keeps the same size, right? So in order to do so, you're gonna lock, I believe it is, yes. So we're gonna lock Y and W, and so we want to actually move this a little bit farther down on the kit. We'll do 785. We're gonna press save and close. And so that is gonna successfully save the location into the hotspot. We're gonna move down the name as well. Once again, lock Y and W. Lower the location down a little bit. Right there. We're gonna save it. So now we've got the new locations for the name and number on the jersey. You're gonna save the changes, and then we want to do the same thing but for the shorts file. So you're gonna go and open the shorts template. Do we want to keep the currently loaded hotspot file? Yes, because we're gonna be changing the same one. Show all the hotspots, right? And so here are the hotspots for the number. As you can see, we need to move this box a little bit higher up and a little bit over to the right, right? So we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna click on the number, and this time we are going to move it over to the right a little. So we're gonna lock X and Z first. We're gonna move this down, move this number down, and we're gonna move this a little bit to the right. And we're pretty much gonna be lining it up to the left side of this Hummel logo, right? And that should be about correct, right? Now we want to move it a little bit higher up. So we're going to lock Y and W, and we're going to move this number down to move the box high up. I'm going to set it right about there. I'm going to save and close. Okay. That saves the bounds successfully. We're going to save the changes, and then we're going to go and press export hotspot. And so what that is going to do, you can save it the same name. So hotspot 132.750.0.0. We'll save that, and so that will be the hotspot for the home and the away and the goalkeeper. Now keep in mind, there are going to be some uniforms where the hotspots are going to have to be different. So you can actually go in here, open the image to, like, let's say the away kit, right? Yes, and so just so we can see how it'll line up, show all the hotspots. There will be some where you have to go and make changes. So for example, here, if you didn't have the crest embedded in the kit texture, so you needed to use the hotspot for the standalone crest texture, by default, the hotspot bound would be over here in the left side of the chest. And so you would need, specifically for this away kit, you would have to change the crest location down to here towards the middle, right? But for the most part, everything else stays the same, so we can get away with using the same hotspot values for all three. And we can also check the goalkeeper kit just to be on the safe side. Open the goalkeeper kit, yes. Show all the hotspots. Once again, it looks pretty much the same. And we can also, let's open the shorts, show all the hotspots, and you can see right there the bounce. We can get away with the bounce being the same for all three kits. So now that you exported the hotspot file, we can go back to the FIFA editor tool. We can right click on this hotspot data file, and we're going to import this hotspot file that we edited in FIFA or in FC editor. We open it, right? And we're going to just do the same thing for in the goalkeeper. We're going to import the same file. This is going to be the same values, and as well for the away. Import this hotspot file. So now the values will be edited, hopefully, once we load the game back up. If we look at the uniform in game, you could see the location for the numbers have changed in accordance to the coordinates or the bounds per se that we put in FC editor 19. We can look at the short number. You can see now it is actually moved to where we mentioned that location that we should move it. And now it's not going to be like pretty much like overlaid over the Hummel logo. It is actually in the correct spot. You can go look at the away kit as well. You will see same thing. The numbers have been changed. Location. Okay. And let's go see the goalkeeper uniform as well. Where is the keeper? Here it is. So as you can see, the location of these names and numbers have changed for all three kits thanks to the new hotspot editor tool for FC editor tool by Deco Ruiz. We've pretty much done all we needed when it comes to the kits for the team. Now, as you can see, you are able to kind of test and play with it, but obviously there's still some database information or language strings information that we need to add, but we will take a look at it in a future episode. But for now, you can just tinker with it and kind of play along with the team in game with the textures that you decided to import into the game. But that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you so much for all of your support. Thank you so much for your patience. I know a lot of you, like I said, I know a lot of you have been asking for a tutorial on FIFA editor tool. This is just the basics of what we need based on what we have in this tutorial so far. There's still a lot of things that we need to import into the game for the menus, for the language strings, right? But as far as textures, and I know, since a lot of people want to import kits, into the game, I think that's why I wanted to make this part a standalone, whether it's the import of the kits and of course the editing of the hotspots. And now we are blessed with having this hotspot tool, because otherwise it was just it was basically like trial and error. Like it was back and forth, edited a little and then going back to the game. And I like how it looks, edited a little, like, so it took a lot of time. But now with the hotspot editor, man, we save a lot of time. But thank you guys for your support, and we'll see you all in the next video of this EA26 modding tutorial series.